What is up, everybody? Dungeon Master Chris and Meg the Bard here today for you. We are making traps for Treacherous Traps 2. What do you think
Mm-hmm.
about that?
I. Oh, you're asking. Are you asking
Oh,
them? Or are
you,
you asking?
you, you. I'm asking
Oh,
you.
asking me? No, that's fine.
It's all good. We'll have fun.
Yeah,
If
that's
if you're not familiar with what we're doing, we took our original Treacherous Traps book and we're making Treacherous Traps 2. It will be enhanced with all sorts of cool things. In the original book, we didn't include things like player options, for example, and in this, we'll have lots and lots of player options. So,
fine.
Meg, what are we putting in there for player options?
Oh, there's so much. So we got to talking, and then at first I was like, I hope that we can think of some things. Would it be hard to think of a subclass for every class to be in a dungeon? And then the problem was that we had too many ideas, and we had to narrow it down right from the outset. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, there's a lot of stuff that you could do with this. So I am in particular very excited just about the Lock Talker,
Yep.
which as of right now is a subclass for Warlock, I think. And then we've got I put my notebook away. There's a Pathfinder cleric, and it was like trying to find your way through the actual dungeon. Essentially, like think of like different ways that you could magically have divine assistance for like a Minoan labyrinth getting your way through. And then shoot, what's the last one? We've got I think it's a bard. We did almost like I don't know. We've got a lot of cool stuff. We have so many ideas that it's really a matter of narrowing it all down. But we do also have two ancestries that we're working on. The Automata, I'm particularly excited by, of having an actual like a trap master made a golem, like our version of a warforged or a different like robot golem type creature. And then we'll see if we keep the name, but mostly just because I lived in Korea and love Korean mythology. A dokebi is a type of Korean mythological creature that's sort of like a goblin, but think like Fae adjacent trickster type. But our dokebi would be they would kind of already be immersed in fantasy worlds because they often disguise themselves as goblins, hobgoblins, or bugbears, when in fact they are a lot smarter than those creatures and they benefit greatly from being underestimated and people not knowing that they exist. But who knows, they might be really good to hire on as trap makers and dungeon creators that then look like your average grunt that's just sort of going, la, 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 and running around when in fact they're the masterminds. So
And they have a lot of
pretty
like
excited.
illusion magic and stuff like that.
A lot of illusion magic, shape shifting, but like a unique type of shape shifting that I'm not sure I've seen in another ancestry option. So I'm excited about that.
You had sent me over just a picture of the notes you took, and this is a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic image. Just all of our thoughts from a phone call, just blah, on the page.
Yeah,
You're thinking about you put it in there as rewind rogue. We don't know
yes,
what we're going to call it yet,
that's
but
what it is.
a rogue that maybe can sort of glean the future or pull things back.
I'll pull things slightly back.
Yeah.
For those who have seen Arcane Echo, is sort of a rogue who can sort of play with time a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that was sort of the inspiration there, but also for when you're dealing with trap triggers, I feel like having someone who can like again
Yeah.
might not be a bad idea
Exactly.
because there's a lot of rogues that already can like I don't know, they can disarm a trap or look for them or be pretty tricksy and avoid them. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's very fun to imagine a rogue that might not be really good at disarming them, but has found a way to go, oops, but remembers all the time that he got smacked in the face. And then he's like,
Yeah.
I've just found a way to cheat time more than I found a way
A
to
time
undo wires.
cheater. Time
Yeah,
cheater.
time cheat, rewind rogue. We had a
Yeah.
lot of ideas
Time
for
cheater.
things, but yeah.
We also had a note here for the Keymaster Warlock. So how the Warlock
Oh,
can
yeah.
conjure things. The Keymaster Warlock can conjure the correct key for the lock. So they can basically envision what mechanisms are inside of the lock, and then they can conjure the correct lock or correct key that will work for that lock. So we
We were thinking
thought that
that
was
as like
pretty cool.
pact of the key. Can like
Pact of
we
the
have
key.
pact of the tome, pact of
Yeah.
the chain. That
Yep.
can be pact of
Pact of the
the key,
key. Yep.
and then as an option, and then I think we were playing around with like what patron the
Hmm.
warlock would be, but aren't entirely sure yet. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of ideas, but I mean, this is the ideation phase anyway,
Hmm.
so it's what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be. But there's so much opportunity here that I'm stoked.
There will be 3 new species, including the Dokebi and the Automata. The third one we're still deliberating about. There will be the 12 subclasses, and then we'll also add things like feats and stuff like that too to the player options.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but I just love looking at the notes. It's just such a fun like brah of all these ideas and just little sections where you started to draw things around them and stuff like that. Like, okay, these are
A lot of
all the
doodles.
yeah, there's some
I don't know
doodles.
how to take notes without doodling. This
Yeah,
is what our notes have looked like from our meeting since 2019.
yeah, I like it. It's good. It's
I
good.
found some notes from one of our meetings of when I was there in person, and
Hmm.
we had like a little round table, and I think we were still talking about Ultimate Guide to Alchemy, Crafting, and Enchanting.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I found notes that I was taking back then of things that we were going to do, and so it was really wild for me to look at the book and be like, "Oh yeah, we kept that, and
Yep.
that got thrown away quickly,"
It
or all that stuff. It was really fun.
it's always fascinating to see because I look back at my notes most of the time. I take notes just in like Google Docs and stuff like that, but to look back on and see what actually got cut due to just content or like a different vision and stuff like that. But it's fascinating to see that kind of stuff. So early notes and drafts and stuff are always fascinating to see sort of the metamorphosis over time.
And it was
Um,
fun too because some of the stuff that got cut got put into forging. So
yes,
it's one of
exactly.
those things where it's like not all the idea. Like sometimes it's just the right idea, wrong book,
Yep.
or it's
Yep.
the you know
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
I'm
It
gonna
could,
say
it,
wrong idea, right book, but that doesn't work at all. It's
yeah.
just sometimes you just need to finagle things
Yeah,
together,
the
and that's an official
finagling, yeah, the finagling is definitely important.
finagling.
Yeah,
Yeah, some people finagle.
yeah,
I finagle.
you need to be a good finagler for sure.
Yeah, and
Um,
that is on my business card.
yep,
Yeah.
professional finagler. So
Yep.
we're gonna create some traps and see how this goes. One of the big
Yeah.
differences for anyone who's not familiar with the random trap generator 2 that we created is in the first one we only provided like a concept for each one of your triggers and effects. This time around what we've done is add 4 variations to each concept to just help you flesh it out more if you want. Now you could roll a d4 on those if you want to, or you can just pick. I mean, any of this stuff is rollable or pickable. So you've got the PDF open. Are there any triggers and effects that jump out at you, or do you want to just roll?
Oh, let's roll.
Okay.
I'm a random lady.
Do we want to focus on mechanical or magical, or just roll for it?
I just roll.
Okay. 59. So with 59, we got an ambiguous trigger, and this
Wrong
is wrong
combo.
combination. So again, this could be mechanical, like it's a dial or something like that, and you have to, there's a certain combination, or maybe it's magical where like there's a certain combination of statues that have to go in a certain order or something like that. So
And when
that
they're in the wrong order, it triggers the.
exactly. Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. So it could
Okay.
go either way like that. And then and if we go to that section, we can actually learn more about what are the other options that we're providing there. Let's see if let's see ambiguous triggers. What's interesting is not all of the headers um, got turned into um, what do you call like clickable
Oh, they're not
bookmarks?
all
Yeah,
actual search
in
headings.
in the PDF. So I don't know how that happened. Some of them did, some of them didn't. I'm like, what determined that? Anyway, let's see. Wrong combination. Let's see. Where's the
So there's
ambiguous
4
triggers?
options. There's either combination setups may include a lever sequence, which is mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
So like a bank of levers, dials, or pressure buttons that triggers the trap when they are set in the wrong order or arrangement, kind of like you said. A tumbler code, also mechanical. Combination lock or geared dial that triggers the trap when an incorrect sequence of numbers, symbols, or notches is entered. A component order, magical. Oh, that's cool. So different spell components,
Mm-hmm.
gestures, words of power, blah blah blah. That if they're in the wrong order, don't work. Or a ritual misstep. Oh, that's cool. So you're supposed
Yeah.
to do things in a certain order. So wrong combination can also just be like any series of things that does not go off as it's supposed to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I like the ritual one.
Ritual?
I like the ritual misstep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So
Because that me room to make a dumb ritual.
Yeah, yeah. So if you come into this room, you're meant to do a certain ritual. You could maybe have that give some sort of like religion or arcana check to know like what is the order of things you're supposed to do.
I think it's not as common for a trap to have a performance check. I think there should be a dance. I don't know if you've ever seen Avatar: The Last
Ooh,
Airbender. There's that dragon dance
yeah.
that
Okay.
Zuko and Aang have to do. I think if they
Dance,
have a
magic
dance,
dance. Yeah.
and that is an option.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying. Um, and there's so many options. That's the thing is you get to pick.
So
Your
with the
dance
wrong
moves.
dance moves,
Yeah,
we
wrong
get a
dance move.
we get 3, which is a cage.
Oh no. Okay, so here's what I think happens. Yes, cage makes total sense for me because I think that this is happening above a place with a dropout floor, and there is a rave or a dance happening underneath. And if you do the dance wrong, you get put in the cage and you get lowered, and everyone laughs at you. So it's like they didn't do the dance right, and so then it is like a public shaming that occurs if you don't pass this trap.
Well, if it were in a dungeon, maybe the goblins
You're not
are
gonna
having a
rave.
rave underneath you guys. So let's see.
Yeah.
The 4 options we have for cage would be like dropping cage, springing bars, pit box, or closing walls. So it could even be something where the openings to where the room, like the doors, how you got in and out, actually like the walls close in to where those doors are covered up or something like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, and hear me out here, the floor drops out and you're in a cage.
And all the goblins point and laugh at you.
Yes. God. See, we run different dungeons. This is why it's important to have different DMs.
Yeah, exactly.
I always have a minimum of 3 raves in all of my dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
It's very music centric.
Mm-hmm.
Meg the Bard. If you're not clubbing, are you even playing D&D?
Well, there you go. So there's a trap. We'll of course do a write up, maybe a couple different versions of this one, and throw it into our Discord for everybody to enjoy.
Why would you need multiple versions? It's already perfect.
Maybe there's the rave version and the non-rave version.
I don't understand.
Well, when it comes to cage, would you want to go for like? Because I'm kind of thinking the closing walls would be how I would do it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if we real talk, if we were doing something like that where you have to do like a ritual dance and then like the walls close in, I think there's something extra fun role playing opportunity wise where if you're doing it wrong and the walls are closing in, now you have to dance, but like there's the added pressure of like physical spaces closing in. That could be really fun to play with.
Yeah.
Because it's already such a visual sort of trigger and trap. I like the walls closing.
Yeah. So the performance and a performance check related to a trap is something new. I don't think we've ever seen that before. But that's cool. And
Well, you've
that's
never
why
been in one of my rave dungeons.
this is very true. Not in the game or in real life.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my real life rave dungeons are crazy. But in game, they're pretty cool too.
Well, awesome. So that's a fun trap. Let's go ahead and make another one. So I'm just gonna go crazy with it, and we'll go any trigger, any effect. I got a 9, so that's gonna be open, close. No, excuse me. That's not that one. Make sound.
Make sound.
Yep, make sound.
Ooh.
And then the effect 31. So that will be a mechanical one. A snare happens.
Snare.
So make sound, and then the snare happens. Now,
So let's look at the details for make sound.
yeah, make sound is interesting because they're like it's a
Any sound
mechanical.
above a certain level.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just any sound above a certain level. If you're not sneaky enough, triggers the trap. Creatures must make an effort to be stealthy, and some may not produce enough sound to set it off due to flight or other quiet forms of movement. Sound triggers may include footstep plates, stretch of loose flat classic, flagstones, creaking boards, brittle shells, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Echo chamber, a resonant cavern or vault hole, where even a whispered word or scrape of armor carries far enough to trigger the trap. A vibration reed. Oh, that makes sense. Like the balanced rod, it catches noise, or a taut membrane, drum head, or animal skin that picks up vibrations. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Now, and you could say there's like a sound over a certain level. So maybe it's potentially tuned to a frequency where if coming into this room with a certain frequency happening, like you've tuned it to where the clamoring of plate mail actually sets it off, because that's the only thing that will make that happen. Alternatively, it could be speaking in this room, and you could even like have carvings and stuff with people, like with their hand over their mouth or whatever, as sort of hints and stuff like that.
Idea, because I mean, I know it says certain sound above a certain level triggers a trap, but if we're going to like decibels or even like tone, like resonance, my idea was like if you're in a dungeon that is primarily maybe populated by fairies or very small creatures that have really high level voices, that even a lower decibel of humanoid speaking, it will sense anytime a non-fairy or something is there, and that could be a cool trigger.
I like that. I like that. So creatures over a certain size category could potentially set it off. Okay.
Even if you're small or larger, any sort of so maybe it's only tiny creatures don't activate it. They just don't have the vocal cords to produce a low enough sound.
I love that. So pixies or fairies and stuff like that have set this trap.
Small or larger creatures speaking.
Yeah. And then the effect was the snare. So with the snare, we've got a few options here. Snare. So there's the foot loop, the hoisting snare, the dragging line, or the bear trap. So with this, I'm almost thinking like a line comes across the room somehow. You ever see videos of cables or ropes kind of like snapping under tension, and they come like and like whip? Yeah. So there could be something where the only purpose of the strap is to knock everyone down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
because I mean, if they're going to be above a certain size, now you can have a snare that hits creatures of a certain size. If it would hit like even a small creature might catch them at chest level, but larger creatures it catches them at knee.
Yeah.
If we're dealing with a creature of a certain size, it would snare creatures of a certain size.
So it's not at like foot. It's not at your ankles or anything like that. It's at like a height that big creature.
If were a thing going by, it wouldn't do anything. Yeah. But it's catching the larger.
Yeah, snares you. Could even be something where it comes across the room and it pins everyone it caught to a wall.
Oh yeah. Oh, it like the cable snaps. It just like whoop, it like.
But I'm saying like then holds them there. So like snares them and holds them there. And this could also be something that's not intended for like large groups of people. It could be like one target. It only goes for one target. So maybe within a corridor or something like that. So that could be cool. I like that. And how you might hide this in the area. You could have it made of vines in like a forested area and stuff like that. That's totally an option.
Especially if we're dealing with like fae stuff, I think if it's a natural sort of something that blends in.
Yeah.
And then you could even have like maybe what it traps them to. It's like forested like vines. It makes like a wall, or the bushes that get taut, and then you're wrapped around a tree,
or thick tree or something like that. Yeah, totally.
Goes all the way around.
Yeah, I dig. Yeah, the whole like fairy fae thing, it works pretty well for this type of thing. So there you go.
Also, I find a lot of people, when you say the word dungeon, they forget that a dungeon can be just any trek through any kind of gauntlet. It does not have to be the cobblestone underground that a lot of people picture. Like a lot of dungeons can be a forest or a desert or like a natural environment where there just happens to be dungeony stuff.
Well, and keeping that in mind, of like traps don't have to be in a hewn flagstone floor, set stone wall sort of typical dungeon, as it were. And especially like pit traps are a great example that those literally could be anywhere. And trekking across open terrain, you could have some sort of a pit trap. You're unlikely to need to like pick a lock out there, but maybe there is. You find a wagon or something like that, and there's a trapped chest there, where by opening the chest,
it could be abandoned, or it could be very strategically placed stuff that looks like it was just left behind in an open area. I love doing stuff like that.
going, really off the beaten path away from fantasy and thinking about like post-apocalyptic, if we think about a movie like Road Warrior, and you've got
Oh,
the gyro captain who's essentially trapped his vehicle to where he's buried himself in the sand, and anybody who approaches, he can see them and he pops out and takes their stuff. Equally so, you've got Max, who's got a trap on his vehicle, where if someone starts it up and the trap is active, it blows up the gas tanks. So it's like traps can exist in so many different scenarios. We have built these out to be mostly catered toward dungeon crawls and stuff like that, but they can definitely be used in like tight forested areas and all that as well.
oh yeah.
So this is one that I could definitely see being used in that scenario. Now we use terms like corridor and chamber whenever we're describing our traps, like what you might be seeing and experiencing and stuff. But you can just replace that with trail or clearing, in a tight forest. So that's totally an option. And especially when it comes to the more magical traps, I would say a forest could be laden with magical traps. You walk up to a pedestal that has a statue on it holding a gem, and if you touch the gem, you fall asleep or something like that, or lightning strikes the area or whatever. So those are all possible. You really have to get in the head of who's designing the trap and what is it for. Are you trying to keep people out, or are you trying to protect an item? Are you like, what are you doing with the trap? What's its purpose? So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
cool.
that's a good point too with this one, especially that it's trapping people of like a certain size. Maybe it's to interrogate them. Maybe it is to like. It's not always just to hurt. There's so many other motivations.
Yeah.
For traps. I mean, that might even be something we can explore for the generator of like motivation, goal for the trap.
Yeah, it's actually part of the book is like what is the purpose of the trap, and we have various purposes like harm, hinder, and let's see, where's the full list? So harm, hinder, subdue, block. I think that might be all of them. But you could
Shaming.
you could think of it in those. What did you say? Shame.
Public shaming.
Public shaming. You could think of those in those terms. So in this case, it would be subdue. You want to subdue them and hold them for interrogation from the fairies or whatever. All right, next one. Making good progress here. 51. So we got remove object. So remove object is a fun one. It's
failing to do the Indiana Jones.
Well, it's in the ambiguous category because it may be mechanical, may be magical. The Indiana Jones one is actually a weight-sensitive surface. So when he removed the thing, like think of it, like break it down to its core components. Removing the idol and replacing it with something that wasn't the correct weight is what caused the trap to trigger. So that was actually a weight sensitive surface rather than remove object. So in this case, if we go down to
like it says right here, a gem in an eye socket or
there you
something
go.
like that.
Yeah.
Or the Aladdin. Don't take anything from the treasure thing. You took a treasure thing. Mad lion sandboy.
And that is why it's in the ambiguous category, because you'll notice that there are 2 mechanical options and 2 magical options, so that you've got plenty of inspiration there. So, well, what happens when we remove the object? And again, we'll give all the details of like what is the like set the scene for you and show you that there's a chamber with this object here, or there's a large statue with 2 gleaming emeralds for eyes or whatever, and it's like, well, I want to remove those. It's like either one of them has some sort of mechanism in there that upon that releasing, because the gem is not holding that little button back or whatever anymore, that then triggers the trap. So that's I think the mechanical side. The magical side is you've removed the gem from the statue that's enchanted with some sort of magical energy. Now I got 100 on the die, so that's wild magic.
Ooh.
Yeah, wild magic.
Correct.
So there's lots of wild magic tables and stuff out there. What we did for this one was to provide 4 options that are just sort of like different categories of what might happen to you, and say we've got bodily change, altered area, elemental shift, or sudden manifestation. So I could roll a d4, and we got a 3. So elemental shift. A surge floods the area with raw elemental force, soaking it with sudden rain, sheeting the floor in ice, baking it with heat waves, whipping a whirl of dust or wind, or gust of wind. So like there's what might happen. So removing an object would then cause this to happen. Flooding the chamber with element. You're smiling. You've got ideas.
Well, I love wild magic so much.
Yeah.
There is so much chaos in my homebrew D&D world that I can think of so many ways that this could go. I'm just trying to think of like what the elemental shift will be. I think is tied to whatever we want it to be keyed to, like what shouldn't be removed. Because if it's a wild magic surge, my instinct was that whatever was removed is an anchor that's preventing the wild magic from happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is some sort of like containment, like gemstone or some sort of like magical anchor.
What if you unplug something?
Uncork something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might actually be a different trigger for that specifically. Let me take a look. I thought that I had one, but maybe it is the remove object. Because let me see. It could have been remove object. My brain's a little mush. I was into this thing for about 2 weeks straight, just coming up with all sorts of new content for it. I know. Everyone's annoyed with me.
I was like, how are you doing? And you're like, traps. And I'm like,
traps.
Okay, I meant like as a person, but okay. Sure.
As a person, I'm still good. I'm here. Let's see. So where was it? Remove object. Bring object. Activate rune. There it is. Remove object. Okay. Found treasure. Anchored idol. Maybe it's a different one. I thought one of these in here somewhere specifically talks about removing a cork from a bottle, but that could be the remove object. You could remove the cork from the bottle, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
And
I think too, it might be funny because we talked about a cork and it's an elemental surge. You could do like a reverse, like when you take the stopper out of a bathtub and it drains.
Yeah.
Maybe you remove this one and a bunch of water floods up, as if you did a reverse uncork and now something's flooding. That could be cool.
It was remove barrier. Remove barrier. Yeah. So
classic barrier.
Yeah. So remove barrier, stopper or plug, wedge support, blocking stone, or obstructing object. So that was stopper or plug is sort of like if I were to have a potion and like boop, and then all of a sudden wild magic. So we could actually move it to remove barrier if we wanted to.
There was a weirdly good uncorking noise and it kind of threw me off. Yeah. The hell? No, wait, that second to last one doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. I don't know if I like you maintaining eye contact while repeatedly uncorking. Yes. Yeah. Anyway.
That was a pretty good one.
No, I like that. Yeah. That's the one I can do. I don't know.
Anyway.
I can sing multitudes. Yeah.
Thanks for sticking with us this long, whoever's still watching this video.
If anyone's here but my mother, I'll be shocked.
we got a lot of fans. All right. They're the best. So, yeah, we could keep it as remove object and make it some sort of like, idol or whatever. I do like the idea of the whole like remove something from a statue. Make something really attractive, almost like, maybe like there's a dragon statue with a big gem in its mouth or something like that. And by removing that, the wild magic starts to come out of the dragon.
Oh, you could even have it. I mean, if you want to go with elemental shift, we don't have to get into the specifics, but what's the spell? Not Nice Souls Magic. It's from it's I think it's one of the Fizbin's ones. It's specifically a draconic wild magic spell. If you cast it and you roll a d10 and then like I think you can smell pie. There's like a fire explosion. There's like a bunch of draconic wild magic specifically for the spell that you can cast on purpose. It would make sense if that was coming out of a dragon's mouth. I mean, you're talking to Dragon Book lady, but it could come out and then that could be a fun one too. So just like we have a rave and non-rave version of a trap, we could have the uncorked tub versus a wild magic dragon statue version of this trap. And look at how many directions you can take the exact same triggers. Oh my god, it's almost like that's what the random trap generator is for.
I did the math.
Now we're cooking with gas.
I know. I did the math, and basically you've got the 50 triggers with 4 variations each. So just so we're all on the same page, we're at 200, but then multiply that by the other 200, 40,000 is the possible combinations before you get to the interpretation of the creator, B, the level, lethality, and purpose. So it's crazy.
When you take those into account, Christopher, my God, it's almost endless.
It seems like an endless possibility, doesn't it? This is just for us, by the way, everybody. This is where our meetings digress into. Yeah, but that's fine because we get to make D&D books for a living. It's awesome. Thanks, everybody.
I mean, we're kind of doing okay if that's that's what we get to do.
Yeah. You get to tell people, like, they ask you, what do you do for a living? I say, I design games. And like, what?
It's a tough part. So I don't know, I guess most people don't know this. I do my writing and art direction for Nord as a priority thing, but as a side gig, I also manage a tea shop 2 days a week. And so I make my little hobbit dreams come true by just going into a tea shop and speaking with like normal people, which is weird because my other job, I'm just suffused in nerddom. And then 2 days a week, there's just like, I don't know, civilians around. And so I like have a layer of when someone asks, oh, what do you do for your other work? We have to start at, do you know what?
It always comes down to that.
Have you heard of D&D? That's the next step. If they have, now we're cooking. And then if they've heard of D&D, I'm like, okay, well, also like there's other things aside from just like Dungeons and Dragons of tabletop games that you can do. And then if I get to write, if I ever start by saying like I'm a writer, the next question is like, where are you published? And I'm like, or like, what have you written? And I'm like, that's not. Can't start. So it's a layered experience.
I usually just say I'm a game designer.
A layered dip of careers.
Yeah, I just tell people I'm a game designer. It usually starts. There's a whole series of questions that happen after that. So, but it's good. It's good.
Well, I should just start saying I'm a professional fanoogler.
Yeah, fanoogler. Yep. I'm going to start doing that actually. And they're going to go, what's a fanoogler? And I'm like, well, it's a very complicated job. It's hard to describe.
I don't think you have the clearance in order for me to tell you.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Yeah, the government doesn't let me fanoogle lightly.
No. Let's do one more trap, and then we'll call it a day. We got an 88.
My mom's favorite number.
Pass area. You know what's interesting? We got this one yesterday.
Okay.
So I'll be interested.
You want to reroll?
Well, let's see where we go with this. So let's go to pass area because we made an interesting one. I think it was pass area. Let me take a look. It was. I actually posted it to her. Yeah. Okay. So it was pass area, and then the effect was restraint. The description says footprints in the chamber or corridor only face one direction. Creatures passing through the area facing the opposite direction trigger the trap. So actually, if you're walking through it the wrong way, you have to turn around and walk backward through the area. Yeah, fun little gimmick. But the tip off is that you see that the footprints are going the wrong direction, or all in the same direction. So, but let's see what we come up with a different pass area. So let's see, what was
This one, moving into or through an area triggers the trap. This can be triggered by anyone or only by creatures meeting certain criteria, such as good aligned creatures, elves, or anyone who isn't a goblin. Passage conditions may include option 1, anyone. A trap that triggers when any creature enters or crosses the area, making no distinction between intruders. Option 2, matching creatures. A trap keyed to creatures meeting certain set criteria, such as the species, type, or alignment, triggering only those who match. Option 3, accepted creatures. A trap that triggers for everyone except a chosen group, letting the builders and their kind pass while catching all others. Number 4, directional passage. I think we got an example of that.
Yep.
Trap that triggers only when you cross in a particular direction, like moonwalking. So maybe let's go with one of the first 3.
Sure.
Of anyone matching or accepted.
1.
Anyone. All right. Screw everyone equally. We love equality.
Yep.
And equity. Let's go with that.
Anyone passing this area, and maybe there's like a seal on the ground. If we want to go back to the Indiana Jones comparison, with the
maybe there's a live seal on the ground.
Or just something. Just like there's something on the ground that, like, passing that, maybe you can't get too close to an object by approaching the altar too closely, somehow in the chamber there's maybe an altar on the opposite side from where you enter, and if you go to this point you're okay. If you go any closer, then it's almost like it's got a magical,
it could also be, this could be fun, because I mean, if we're thinking about dungeons, usually, I mean, a common source of dungeons and traps like that, especially magical traps, is wizards, and wizards often have stuff they want to show off. So what if you had a dungeon that was almost like a museum, and it was like you can't get close? It's like a wizard showing off all of their cool artifacts, and it's like you can't get close or else this will activate.
So what I'll do then is I'll use the D20 to only come up with a magical effect on this. So, well, I could roll a D30 and get ambiguous in there as well. Yeah. So let me do that, just because ambiguous could also be magical. So with a D30, we got a 2, which is adhesive.
That's great.
That's kind of, like, I think a wizard would do that. Like, if you pass this area, that adhesive. Yeah, it sticks your feet to the ground or something like that. So
yeah, either I come catch you or I get your footwear.
Yeah. Let's see, adhesive, tar or pitch. So for the mechanical, it would be tar or pitch or alchemical glue. But for the magical, it's conjure web or a bonding glyph. So it could be like, the whole area becomes sticky webs or something like that, until you get yourself, if the further you go, the stickier they get, and the more it like starts covering you with webs and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I like that. So yeah, it's a cool trap.
This wizard's just kind of a trickster jerk.
Yeah, he wants to show off his stuff, but he doesn't want you to get too close.
But don't get hasty.
No. Yeah. Don't be hasty.
Otherwise you're gonna get pasty.
Yeah, with
my glue.
Yeah, you're gonna get stuck.
I'm the wizard.
Stuck to the floor.
This is the guy.
Hey, I'm gonna stick you to the floor, okay? How you doing?
Hey, Wizzy Bippy over here. I've been a wizard 50 years.
It's a nice dungeon you got here. It'd be a shame if it was covered in webs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm not saying I want anything to happen to you. I'm saying you could take a look. Don't touch.
Nobody's watching this video anymore.
No, I think we just got back at least 2 viewers.
Yeah, probably.
They sent something in the force.
Oh my god.
I can't play this character without this.
Yeah, you gotta have a cigar. Where's the cigar? Here. Let me have a cigar in my hand. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
Oh my god. These are my assistants, who always have to reload the freaking webbing. They hate it. So please just don't get close. They'll be very upset.
They'll be very upset. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, if you're still watching, thank you for getting through this much of the video. Why are you doing what you're doing? What are you doing with your life? Hopefully you're playing lots of D&D and having a great time. If you do have any of your own ideas, definitely there'll be links in the description. So go get a copy of the Random Trap Generator 2. go to the Kickstarter campaign, follow it, and make sure that you're in the know. Go to our Discord and share your own ideas there, and fill out the form. We have a Google form that asks you things like your trigger, your effect, and a short description of what you have in mind. How do you do that?
I don't know. Something triggered. I'm trapped. I can't stop. So applicable.
We have fun. I
We have
appreciate it.
something.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you guys are all entertained.
I hope so.
All right. Well, that'll be, what is today, the 4th? That'll be our June 4th design time video. I hope everyone enjoyed. I enjoyed. My face hurts a little bit now. So let's all have a great day. Check out the project. Share it with your friends. Don't forget to back it when it goes live. We'll let you know when we're planning on doing that soon. And until next time, happy gaming, everybody.
Happy gaming.